fabulous Friday. I'm going to give you some data that's happened over the last sort of 7 days and how we've ended up going from creating a certain funnel for the business that's linked to the Legacy Brotherhood and to our residual income business, our online business, and how we've had a massive breakthrough in terms of which way we're going to take it. Also, some of the real challenging things that have also gone on at the same time. So, like right now, I'm just driving the V8 Patrol up to the barbers to get this bit of a mop top tidied up a little bit, and I'm going to share some stuff with you along the way. It's super important to, speak authentically and from the heart and all that good stuff. So, we've got a plan, 2-year plan to move out of the suburbs where we're living in here and move to the coast, either sunny coast or down Currumbin way towards the Tweed or Coolangatta, somewhere down that way. But right now it's this area is serving us. The little one goes to school next door, transport's good for my son to go to trade college, all this sort of stuff. So it's working for now, but over the last week, man, it's been hectic. Been a lot of work going into the business, the company, and what's epic about it is while I'm haven't even made a sale this week, people in my team have made sales, which, money's dropped into my account this week, like 6 G's just this week from an indirect sale, which is epic. And that's the whole reason why I got started in the business that I'm in. And that's what I encourage other people to do, particularly guys that are already making sales and stuff. Why sell to one person just once and keep having to do that sort of like linear style versus, you could do it once and it could be, compounding and happening over and over. But yeah, so some real highs this week. Got a lot of clarity on, the platform and the funnel that we're building for our ideal clients, which has been epic, and the massive value stack that goes into what they're going to get, and sort of the low ticket items and the high ticket items and all this sort of stuff. It might sound like gobbledygook for most people, but for some of you, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And to have clarity in business when there's going through transitional phases, you could have millions of leads coming through, like thousands of them, but if they're not converting, well then the back end needs to be fixed and things need to be set up a lot better. So leads is one thing, conversions is another, right? But heaps of clarity. Got 3 epic people in my team, absolute guns. One's like world class, been around for 30 years doing this business. Another one is a super techie guy that's he just knows software. Like, it's just so helpful to understand, like, when you've got a vision and things like that, and you've got people in your team, in your corner, that know how to bring your ideas and stuff to life. Can be like a real big hurdle for a lot of people, is when they've got these fantastic ideas but they don't know how to sort of bring that to software platforms and to social media and things like that, so people can be accessing your content and accessing your knowledge and wisdom and products and things like that. So it's epic to have that, and then to have someone in the business also with you that's sort of fully aligned in values, like values health and values income streams and wealthing strategies, and values having a really strong purpose and being on mission to make the world a better place. It's freaking epic to have people like that in your corner. I mean, it wasn't always like that, having people like that in my corner, man. I've had some real snakes in my corner. The things that I've been through and all that, I wouldn't wish them upon my worst enemy, but all that's for another time, another story, another chat, another Friday. But some of the challenging things that have happened this week as well is, like, in and around the direction we're going to take the business and the funnel and who we're going to market to and who our audience is. It's been really challenging because it's like there's all these moving parts and pieces that just weren't clear, and now there's a lot of clarity, which is sick. Like, but man, you know, can keep you up at night if you don't have clarity on what that looks like. And it kept me up a fair bit. You know, I was stressing about this or that, but the big key thing is to know that when it's uncomfortable, you're normally in a good spot. Like, you're in a great spot, because that's when growth happens, whether it's, you know, whether it's in business, whether it's in emotions or your body. I mean, like when you're doing, say, a heavy bench press or a back squat or, you know, a handstand or something, like, I mean, or you're in a sparring tournament and it's fucking heavy, like, and it's fast and it's, you know, you're getting touched up or whatever it is, the resistance of that thing, you know, like when you're doing the heavy weight on a back squat, man, it's hard. Like, nothing good's going to come of it if it's too light. You're not going to freaking grow. By sparring people that aren't worthy opponents, you don't get any better. When the guy can really box or fight, that's when you have to prove and step up and level up. Or when you're challenged in a relationship, that's when you have the opportunity to, you know, really change your behavior. You know, and unless your behavior changes, nothing really changes. So it's another conversation which I'll love to delve into at a later date. But yeah, some challenges this week. Far out, man. Oh. After running our Legacy Brotherhood event down Springbrook National Park, Kunjawara, we had 50 guys there, and I just played it all out and friggin' ran myself into the ground, picked up some dirty bug. I don't know, man, it's just been clagged up for like the last week. I was actually bedridden a week ago. And been away on business for 5 days and coming home to my partner and 3 kids, and me not being able to be of service or show up the way I could if I had energy, you know, was hard for my partner to deal with that, because she's hoping I'll come back energized and, you know, ready to take a load off her shoulders, and that just wasn't the case. So that was really challenging. Put stress on you know, the family dynamic when it's like that. But through good positive communication and, you know, allowing the other person to have space and breathe and you know, being in discovery through asking questions really is a great tool in relationship. And that's just being flexible, right? Like having the flexibility to be able to when you are activated, not, you know, act on those activations. It's a big conversation. I'd love to talk in another day, like about how, you know, the two states, the inhibitory and the excitatory state, and how they show up in everything that we do. But through the hardship of the challenge with partner and relationship and being ill, there's been some great clarity. I mean, our dog, he's a pit bull, Rottweiler, Staffy cross. So he's got, you know, 3 of the most sort of, you know, dangerous dogs, ones that are known for biting people and attacking them and stuff. And we went away to Noosa middle of last year. Took my partner, took Riggy away, and we had a weekend together before the birth of our daughter. And while we were away, I asked a mate of mine to feed the dog. And he's fed my dogs in the past, and it's not uncommon. But what happened was he invited his nephew to come along with him, and his nephew's son was with them also, and the son was only young, like probably 5 or 6. Anyway, they're in the yard, and the dog hadn't seen anyone for maybe 24 hours almost, because I fed him up big before I left, and then it might have been 24, 36 hours, something like that. Big fed belly, and then yeah, they came to give him his feed, and the food's out, and he's, you know, doing the water, my mate, and the father of the child's over there a little bit. This is what they told me. And then the dogs turned around and just, without making a sound, just bit the kid on the face, and then the kid, like, his nose was cut all open and freaking terrible. And my mate didn't actually tell me until I got back, because he didn't want to us to ruin our good time up there. Freaking hell, it's terrible. But the kid got a stitch and he was all good. Thank God. It could have been a lot worse. And I just, given the circumstance, I was like, fuck, that is terrible. But the dog's in his own yard behind 2 fences, and there's food and there's like strangers there. So I sort of like gave the dog the benefit of the doubt. And my partner was on edge about the dog because obviously got, young kids under the age of 7, and like you've seen dog bites and stuff, like, and how bad it can be, right? So she's always peeking out about the dog. Anyway, fast forward like 6 months. So I got some dog training and stuff after that. And fast forward a few months, the dog sort of was a little bit suspiciously aggressive towards one of the kids when they banged on the back door. And given his nature and what had happened in the past, it was a huge red flag for us. So I was trying to get people to like take the dog. No one was really that keen, not due to the nature of him. They just didn't have the capacity. And so anyway, I woke up one morning this week and I go out to see the dog and he's not there. I'm doing a workout and at the home gym, and I thought, freaking hell, he must have got away, but everything was shut, which is weird. Anyway, so the pound calls me up and says, hey, Mr. Lingard, we've got your dog. I said, oh, okay, no worries. And they said he's under investigation. You'll need to be contacted by an investigative officer from the council. I said, okay. So I had a conversation with this bloke, and he said, yeah, it's about the kid getting bit on the face, blah, blah, blah. Said, all right. And then he said his class is a dangerous dog. He's going to have to be put in a cage at the back of the yard under supervision when taken out. He'll have to be muzzled when he goes out in the street. All these sorts of things. And I'm thinking, freaking hell, it's gone from bad to worse, And they were trying to charge me for him being out and all this sort of stuff. And I just said, are you able to find him at home, where he could be on a farm or whatever it is? And they just said no, basically. And I just sort of said, look, can I hand him over to you guys? And they said, yeah. And I signed paperwork, so they're going to put him down. Pretty full on. Love animals. I do not wish that to ever happen to anyone's dog. But there's just that element of he may bite another kid again or something like that, So that's been really freaking challenging this week. Much as I'd like to keep him, what am I going to do? Keep him in a cage? I just don't think that's fair. And yeah, it's full on. And then we've got another issue with, we live near a school and we've got big gum trees, one particularly in our backyard. I absolutely love this tree. Like, I love it. It's a gorgeous tree. I love nature, and I've often sat there and meditated and looked at the tree because it's just beautiful. And my partner wants to chop the tree down because the crows are congregating in the tree and they're waking up our daughter while she sleeps a lot of the time, and they're like bad pests. They're constantly coming and going. So I got a tree climber out to put some owls up in the tree and some spinning shiny stuff and a couple of wind chimes to deter the crows, and it hasn't really worked. It's been unsuccessful. Anyway, then I thought I'll build a scarecrow on our, where we've got our back porch on the roof of that. I put the scarecrow up there. Not the best scarecrow, but I thought I'd give it a crack. That's been unsuccessful too. So she wants to chop the tree down and I don't want to. I love the tree, and so I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place. But I'm going to try and maybe set up like a, those Michelin men that go like this and they raise their arms up full of air. Put one of them there, or like some sort of a speaker up in the tree to scare the crows. Anything that I can do to not chop the tree down, I'll do. But it may get to the point where we have to, which makes me feel really sad. I love the tree. It's put a lot of pressure on our relationship because, wow, different sets of values, but it's another challenge in itself, but it seems to be getting better. And yeah, so I got a 15-year-old son. He's just started doing Muay Thai. He's training against guys that are fighting and stuff, like sparring against them, and he's going really well. He's stepping into his own self. He's a young man. I'm proud of him. He's had a very turbulent sort of upbringing, where, you know, I basically got custody of him at age 7, and up until that point, it was very turbulent for him. But I'll talk into that on another date, and how I went to the family court arena and all that stuff. I think it's like a massive value video for men and for people going through similar circumstances. I think you get a lot from it. So stay tuned for that one. I'll definitely talk into that at some point. But yeah, super challenging that's been. And it just being crook all week, it was freaking, man, the energy's low. But not only that, me getting crook, my daughter, who was 5.5 months old, she got really crook. And we had to go to the hospital with her the other day, and that was freaking scary. Because we're totally vaccine free, and, the health system is very, pro-vax. So we had a lot of fear around that, and our daughter was home birthed. And like the most perfect birth you can imagine. So, yeah, there's a lot of fear there, and we gave her Panadol, and let's reverse back here. Yeah, we gave her Panadol, and she ended up bringing her temperature down, and feeling, she bring her temperature down, and then, we gave her a dream feed, and we went home with her, which we were grateful for. But it's been rough, like a lot of late nights, really challenging to get food into her. She was only drinking, like a less than a third of what she normally would. So it was pretty scary for us. Little baby, can't talk back, full of mucus. So, but she seems to be getting better, and we're really grateful about that. So, but yeah, just got off a call with one of my business partners, and man, we've just really got this thing dialed in at the moment. I'm so excited about where this is going to take the business, and create that more so like in the freedom business, but being able to like systemize things and monetize things and all that is going to just make life so much easier. A lot of work's gone into it, but I'm really stoked about what we're going to do next and where it's going. And the events that we run for men is just world class. It's going to be on the world stage in a couple of years, and hopefully you can come to an event if you haven't been to one. But if you've been to one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are just life-changing, and it's very exciting. The people that we're calling in, the people that are in our corner, in our business, in our team, that we have conversations, like it's just so exciting. It's so expansive, and I'm just so excited to share it with you. But I just got to the barbers here. I'm about to jump out of the car, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. There's going to be a lot more of this stuff. Just the real Mitch Lingard talking to you. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye from me.